Hello, everybody, and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Once again, you are looking at the Aerobask Eclipse 550. I picked this thing up over the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend sale at xplane.org. It might still be on sale, so if you check out the link in the description below, you might still be able to grab it while it's on sale there. We are in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to go up to Indianapolis today. We might have to pick through some storms. There's some storms moving across the area. We're going to go to 21,000 feet today. Krista 3 departure, Olsey transition, India uniform, then Hagel and the Gibbs 2 arrival into there. Pretty cool. This airplane is very unique. It's very underpowered. It's a twin engine airplane, very underpowered. It has very slow speeds, meaning that like the climb speeds between 140, 150, and the approach phase, it's like right around 90 knots, which is crazy. You don't have any spoilers or speed brakes, whatever you want to call them. So the mindset behind the airplane was pretty much, if you could fly a GA airplane, you could fly this airplane and transition to it pretty easily. It has the Skyview, the Dynan Skyview avionics package, which I'm really starting to like it a little bit more than the G1000. I think you'll see why here in a few moments. We're going to take some people up to Indianapolis so they can watch the Indy 500. We have World Traffic 3 running right now. I fixed that by running the updater. So I got the updater. It updated the whole plugin, and now I have no more of those massive stutters, so we can have AI traffic along the route. Should be a lot of fun. Let's jump up into the airplane and check it out. It's lightly raining here in Nashville today. Look at all of the detail in this little guy. It is really nicely done. Very similar to, what you would expect from their Epic series, from their Diamond, and so on and so forth. Very cool. You can hear an airplane out there taking off, probably Southwest or somebody. And just look at the detail. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy good. I can't believe I didn't pick this thing up sooner, honestly. The shades are really cool. Let me show you how the shades work here. If I go to the shades here, you can, all of them here, we can put them up or down. Look at that. Put all the shades down. You can put them all back up, or you can choose which one you want. So like center left, you say, I just want this one down, see? And all the others stay up. Really cool. You have different options here. You've got your TCAS, alerts, windshield reflections, all this stuff. And we can access it by this right here as well. But it's nice that you have the option inside the airplane so you don't have to jump out and do a 2D panel. That's really cool. Let's hook up the GPU. There we go, outside, so we can get things rolling. Chocks and all that's good to go. Doors open right now, and I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and hop up here. You see the GPU outside. We go battery on. And the Skyview Dynan Avionics is coming to life. And look at this. We've got NEXRAD radar. We've got TCAS in the area of airplanes. Really cool stuff. One thing I have had an issue with is the TCAS not updating. So if we have an issue with that after we start the engine up, I don't know. We'll see. Hit continue there, and check out the avionics package. It's really nice. Let's go nav lights on, and we can start pre-flighting this airplane for our departure. So basically, we're going to do 21,000 feet. So we're just going to go ahead and tell it to do that initially on the climb. So let's put this guy up. I've been having this weird thing where it's getting these weird numbers instead of being like an even number. So if you just click, it usually clears that up right away, which is really nice. So 21,000 for you, sir. 18, 19, 21. Perfect. And we're gonna do IAS mode on the way out. So not worried about vertical speed at the moment, but we could check it if we wanted to. It's about 1,200 feet per minute, so we'll keep it right there. Heading and all that, we'll get that in a second when we get the ATIS, and I'll show you how the best way to get that. You can go to Waypoint Info, Airport, and you can click right here. Well, you can choose what you wanted it to be, but we're on Nashville here, and we can go to frequencies, and look at that, ATIS is 135.10, so I can do 135.10, 10, enter, and then boom. Oh, you gotta hit it just right.
Nashville INTL information.
There we go.
Whiskey. 1900 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at 5. Visibility more than 10.
100.5.
Sky conditions 4,000 scattered, 18,000 broken, 25,000 broken. Temperature 29. Dew point 19. Altimeter 2994.
2994. So I can do 2994 right here.
Departing runway 13.
Or I can click it and go 2994. Enter. Which is really cool. I do like that option. Sorry, my voice is going to be kind of cracky, kind of crappy. I'm still getting over being sick all week. So bear with me on that. Sorry about that. Okay, that's good to go. We can do flight director. We can do we'll do nav here in a minute, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. We're going to go to flight plan, and we're going to add waypoint. So to do this, we go to add waypoint. We're going to put BNA, so Nashville. Hit enter there. Now I can click on Nashville, and I can load a departure here. So winds are out of 100. So we're going to probably take off on 2. Yeah, probably 2 right. It's going to be a crosswind, but you know what? Not or probably 2 center. Is it 2 center? I think it is 2 center. And then we're going to do the Krista 3 departure. So let's find Krista 3. There it is. Olsey transition. And check it out. It's pretty much like a little FMC. So now I can do IIU. So add waypoint. We'll go India uniform. That's Louisville or Louisville. And then Hagel. But Hagel might be part of the Gibbs too. So let's see if that is the case. We'll go down here. We'll hit Indy. Like that. Hit him. Load an arrival. And we're doing probably the ILS 23 right approach, I would imagine. Because the winds have been favoring that. Gibbs 2. And there's the Hagel transition right there. So we already have it. And then none for that guy. Hit none there. And look at that. We have our flight plan loaded right here. Ready to go. Now, we don't have VNAV in the airplane, so we have to manage that ourselves. But at least now we have our flight plan ready to go, and you can see it right there. So we'll go nav like that. Just prepare it. And if we want to switch over to that, we have to go to Skyview. So click on Loc 1 here and Loc 2, and then there's Skyview right there. That's what we want right there. The Sarah departure. Or Sarah intersection, I'm sorry. So we'll be RNAV to Sarah and then on to Krista afterwards. We're pretty much ready to go. It's pretty simple to get this thing up and running. Let's get our passengers ready to go on the weight side of things. We're going to be we'll do dual pilots. We're actually going to fill this thing up. We're going to fill it all the way up, and we're not going to have that much fuel because of the weight. Now watch, when I start bringing the fuel up, it'll get red quick. Look at that, because we have a lot of people. So we're going to go max what we can, which is going to be 1,153 pounds of fuel. Should be more than enough to get where we're going, though. If it's not, we'll have to divert and get some more fuel. But I haven't done a full load yet, and I really want to do that because I want to, test the max of this airplane. That's good to go. Sounds are good. You can bring up the sounds of the engines and everything. Lights are right here. You can control your flashlights at night, and these are your interior lights. Shades, I showed you that. Ground. Chalks can go bye-bye. We can close the door now. It'll get quieter. Options, you have TCAS alerts. You can turn those on and off. Windshield of reflections if you want. EFIS reflections. So on and so forth. Those are the options there from Aerobask. We're going to go to this. Let me show you something really cool. Go back. We go to utilities. We go to checklists. And we're ready for the pre-flight checklist. Pitot 2 cover and chokes. Those have been removed. Engine selectors are in the off position. Yes, they are. System battery switch is on. Fuel quantity. Check that. 170 looks good. Power levers are idle. Parking brake set. And then we go gear handles down, 3 green. Pitot heat is off. This airplane has automatic pitot heat, if you're wondering. All light switches are off, except for the beacon. Flaps will set the takeoff now. So get those guys going. There's takeoff right there. That's good. Rudder pedals are good. Flight controls. They are free and correct. They are good. Trims. That's where you want it for takeoff, right around there. Actually, I'm going to bring it forward just a hair. About right there. Put that XP Realistic Pro away. Trims are checked. We go to the next checklist. GPU is connected. Door is closed. Oxygen control. Here we go. Pull on. Make sure it's working, and it is. Oxygen pressure was checked. Air source switch as required. We're going to keep it in the left position. We'll do norm. You can leave it on off. But you have to have that for your cabin pressure, and we'll do that on the taxi out. As required, left and right gen switches are off. Bus tie switches on auto. Annunciator lamps, test it. It's right over here. Those are good. ELT switch is armed. External lights, beacon, gear, we have down 3 green. It's kind of redundant sometimes. Fuel quantity, we checked that already. Parking brake set. ATIS clearance, got it. We have whiskey. Altimeter set 299 comm nav radios are good to go, set for departure. Go to next checklist. Engine start. Sysbat voltage. Check 23 volts minimum. So here we are right here. 26.5. We're good on that. Strobe beacon's on. Throttle's idle. Start bat switch is on. Right engine selector. So to start this, all you gotta do is just go up here and click it to the on position. We'll tell him we're starting engine number 2. We can see we've got it coming to life. And that's looking good. Right engine selector is good. Engine instruments are checked. Left engine selector can go to the on as well. Doesn't take much to fire these things up. All right, that's 2 good starts there. We've got that. Let's go ahead and turn those gens on as well. Turn all these guys on. Engine instruments have been checked for that engine. Gen switches are good. GPU, we can tell him to disconnect. Go ahead and disconnect it, man. We don't need that anymore. Ground GPU's gone. Simple as that. That's good to go. And checklist complete. Before taxi, FMS setup is complete. Trims are good. Flaps are set for takeoff. Ice protection is required. We're gonna probably do wing stab if we run into any clouds, but right now we're fine. External lights are good. Taxi and takeoff briefing. We're gonna make a left turn out of here. Another left-hand turn and taxi down to center there. It's good to go. And parking brake will be released right now. There we go. Checklist complete. Taxi checklist. We'll check our brakes here in a second. So let's go ahead and give ourselves some power to get on out of here. We'll give ourselves a taxi light. And we'll test our brakes here. Brakes are good. Brakes are good. Flight instruments are good. Transponder is good. We don't care about that. We're not flying online. Takeoff config. We'll check all that for before takeoff checklist. Not worried about it right now. Let's just taxi down to the runway. All right, so this airplane's a little interesting. When you're climbing out, you can't use your auto throttle system. The auto throttle system is designed for cruise and descent only. It's not for your climb. Your climb you're going to have to do manually. Now, you can do 102 on your climb. You have to do it manually with N1 102. And you're going to see the airplane's going to be operating in the yellow limits. That's perfectly normal. However, if you get into the red, you only have 20 seconds in the red before you risk a engine fire, and it will happen if you do it according to the documentation. I haven't flamed down an engine yet, so we've been pretty good at that, but it will operate in the yellow. I keep it right around 99 to 100. I don't flirt with disaster too much when it comes to airplanes, so we're not going to worry about that today. But yeah, I mean, it's an underpowered airplane, and it's stretched to its absolute max limits. But it's an absolute joy to fly. Once you understand the basics like that, you won't go wrong. So we're good on altitude there. Heading, we can have a backup heading here for 020 if we would like, just so we you could just grab that like this, just so we can have a backup in case something happens. There we go. And we can always just hit heading if we wanted to. Nav's checked. Flight director's on. Auto throttle system's off. Autopilot's off. Yaw damper's off. So we can do it before takeoff checklist. We're almost down here to the runway. So takeoff config is good. Air source select. Now we go to norm. There we go. That's on normal. And you don't want a delta P of more than 7.8's max. I haven't gotten it near there, but delta P is usually below that. External lights as required. We'll get that in a minute. Transponder mode. Good to go. Next will be after takeoff checklist. So over the hill, we can see a plane coming into land right now. I think that's him right there on our TCAS. Or is our TCAS not changing? Oh, there goes a Southwest taking off. Hello, Southwest. Goodbye, Southwest. Oh, he's rotating right there. Oh, nice. That's cool. And we got one landing. All right, we're pretty much ready for departure. We're just double checking the flight line. We got another one coming in, so we can go strobe beacon. Landing light can come on. So that's good to go. Can't think of anything else. Yep, we're all set here. We just are waiting for our turn to take off. After this next plane comes in, there's another Southwest 737. You better believe it. So after he lands, we'll be on our way out of here. All right, line up and wait. On runway 2 center. Looks like the flight line's clear to me. And he just landed. So we're gonna get out here. As soon as he clears the runway, we're out of here. Yeah, I'm not sure if the TCAS is updating or if it's updating very, very slowly. I haven't been paying attention to it too much. All right, he looks like he's clear off the runway for the most part. But he's over the hill, so it's hard to say. I want to make sure it's definitely clear here, so let's hold. Runway is clear. We're ready for takeoff, so let's go ahead and add our power. Let him stabilize a little bit there, and we'll set our takeoff power manually. Keep an eye on him. Get him right there on 99 or so. A little bit more power than that. A little bit more. Takeoff power set. There we go. One's in the yellow. That's what we want right there. Airspeed is alive. $80 knots. 95 will be our rotation speed. There's a rotation speed right there. So ease on back. And she comes right off the ground. Positive rate, gear up. I think the flight director is being weird. Oh, you know why? Because I know why. I didn't go into the autopilot pitch VS mode, which is all right. We climb out by speed anyway, so it'll be all right. Pretty much a straight out departure. Not bad at all. A little windy. And we can put flaps up. Flaps go up around, what does it say? Like 400 feet AGL. So gear is up. Flaps are in. Yaw damper comes on. Throttles. We want MCT, managed climb thrust, which we're going to do 100 today. I'm not going to do anything more than that, really. Still hand flying it right now. No need to not do that. And we're actually going to keep it pitched back a little bit here, a little bit more than you think. I see it's showing traffic here, so we're going to keep an eye on that with the TCAS. It's looking pretty decent there. And let's go to a little bit right side. There we go. Because that flight director there, let's just go ahead and turn that guy off. The flight director's just showing me what I want for my vertical speed, and I'm not really worried about that right now. Gonna climb out. Here we go. That's pretty good right there. I mean, this thing will climb up, like, I think it's almost like 6,000 feet per minute if you want to. It'll be a slow speed on the way out, but not bad at all. Still hand flying it. Into the clouds we go. It hand flies quite nicely, actually. You'd be surprised. Goodbye, Nashville. It's been fun. Okay. So I'm going to do my vertical speed here. I'm going to put it about 1,800 feet per minute. And we're going to do altitude select for that guy. Well, not for 6,200 feet. We want it to be our 21,000 feet we want to do here. Let's get it back up to that. There we go. And we can engage the autopilot here. When we do that, we're going to do nav for that. The sky view, as you can see right there, we're still hand flying it. 193 knots, climbing like a champ. No problem at all there. The autopilot will be, the servos are a little rough sometimes. It'll kind of jolt you around, so keep that in mind. We go to VS mode, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this nose down so it's not too jarring, and we'll engage the autopilot. See, there's those servos. They're a little crazy, just a tad crazy. And there we go. Now the autopilot's taking care of it. We're 8,400 feet, climbing out of Nashville. Throttles are MCT, ice protection. See if we're picking up any ice or anything like that. Things look pretty clear, so we're not going to worry about that for right now. That's good to go. Check out the next rad. We have some storms over there. Not worried about those. And next checklist will be climb at 10,000 feet. It's the next check, which we're coming up on now. Very shortly, but we have just enough time to do a flyby view. A very anticlimactic flyby view, but I do know a new sound set is coming out for this thing very, very soon, so I'm excited for that. 10,000 feet check right there. Landing lights come off. Taxi light, whatever. Pressurization, we check to make sure that's good, and it is golden. Yep. Landing lights are off. Altimeter will be standard 18,000 feet, waiting for that check. And that's pretty much all there is to this little airplane. Not a whole lot. Keeping an eye on traffic here. We've got one off our nose here. He is 3,300 above us. He is headed pretty much right for us, so we're probably going to go ahead and bring this down and level off for traffic until it is clear of that conflict, before it becomes a conflict, honestly. But that's all right. We'll get some speed in the meantime. No harm, no foul. We just want to be safe here, and you can see he is going to come right over the top of us. So yes, the TCAS is working perfectly fine here with world traffic. And he's going to cross right over the top of us. We won't even see him. He's above that cloud layer. We're about to be in the clouds here. Going to pass off on our left-hand side there, just about 3,000 feet above us. And once he is not a factor, we'll start our way back up. And we're going to be clear of conflict there. So let's go ahead and start bringing this back up ever so slightly. We have passengers on board today, so we don't want to be jarring with our vertical speed. Just do it gradual. Let the airplane show out of there's 1,000, then we go up to about 1,500. And then more. 2,000 is pretty good for right now. Not bad at all. So I'm using default X-Plane weather is what you're seeing here. There's no X-Enviro, no Ultimate Weather XP. This is all default X-Plane 11 weather. I just really, really like the X-Plane 11 weather. It's really good. It has gotten so good over the years. All right, that was 18,000 feet. We already got the altimeter. Next checklist will be cruise, which we're getting close to. We're at 18.5, climbing for 21,000 feet. And we are pretty much done with that checklist for right now. We hit back and back again. We can go to the flight plan and have a look. We're passing Krista, so we're headed to Ulce, and then we go to Louisville after that. That's that storm way off in the distance over there on the right. We're not worried about it. We'll keep an eye on any further developments. Because once we get over Louisville and we make that left and we head up towards Indy, there's some storms up there we gotta possibly deal with. But I think this has moved on through, and it won't be a factor because that earlier was on our path. But it'll be fine. All right, we are at our cruise altitude of 21,000 feet, and we're going to let the airplane gather some speed up before I start pulling the power back a little bit, just to be nice to the engines and try to get a better fuel burn rate. We have 126 on the fuel right now. We're looking good right there, and it's smack dab in the middle. And we're getting closer to Louisville, not too much further to go. Some other cool things we can do with this package, this avionics package, is we have options for a map if we would like. We can zoom in and out of it. I'll show you this stuff. Really cool. Shows you the topography there. We've also got traffic, so we can see the TCAS in a greater detail there. We've got terrain mode. Zoom out of that if we'd like. There's not much terrain around here, obviously, so not worried about that. We've got weather. The weather will tell you what it's at. You can see what the winds are at different levels for winds aloft. We can go back, and we've got charts. You can import your own charts. This one has a few, I think, that are chart unavailable, but there are some that came with it. I think it's like Aspen or something, isn't it? Is it Aspen? K-A-S-P? A-A-S-P? Is that what it is? No matches found. Nope. Not sure what it is, but I know that some come with it preloaded. Hit back on that guy. Got flight plan like we've seen. We've got procedures, so you can activate legs for your arrivals and all that. We've got nearest, which is always a fantastic thing to have. Nearest VOR. Here's the information for it. We've got nearest airport, and we can always click on it and go direct to if we wanted to. And you can look at charts and all stuff if you have those loaded in. On top of that, we've got Waypoint Info, so you can look at the info for an airport like I showed you. We could do NDVs, intersections, and VORs. And then you have the utilities, which is all your information. Here's some true airspeed winds and all that, flight timers, checklist, clean screen. All this stuff is in op. Clearly, I would love to have a VCalc. That'd be kind of nice to have, honestly. Wouldn't be bad at all. So we're getting close. When you start getting close to the red tape, we're going to pull our engine power back here. If you start getting close to that red tape, the airplane will porpoise. It will oscillate. So keep that in mind. I'm going to pull power back. About right there. 97 or so is good. We don't need to go too crazy fast. Have a look on our screen here. We have some traffic around us. 800 feet below us on the left. I don't even see him. Where's he at? Look at that beautiful ortho scenery down there. We're looking for the traffic. He's going to be a factor. He's going to be zipping right on by us. Then we have one at the same altitude converging just to the left of us. We might have to... Oh, we're already making a right-hand turn away from him, so not a problem. We're looking out for that traffic, but I don't see him. We might even have to go into TCAS mode here real quick, just to make sure we don't get ourselves killed. Here he is right here. That's the 800 one. Okay, he's further out than we think. All right, we're over Louisville, and now we're headed to Hagel. And we have a lot of traffic around us, actually, right now. They're below us, though, 3,200, 3,500. That one's 800 above us to the right. So they aren't going to be a factor at all. I don't believe. We're over Hagel now. We're going to Hazov. And we're just 11.7 miles from that guy. Then Anagi, then Easel, then Gibbs. So we're pretty close to being where we need to be. So let's keep an eye out here. We'll probably start the descent around Kilo Oscar Victor Oscar. Maybe a little bit before then, actually, because Indianapolis is right there. Won't take us long to get down, but I'm thinking between either Anagi and is it Easel? I think it's Easel. Yeah, between those two is where we're going to start a descent. And if you look down here, you can see the TCAS in action. So remember, we were looking at these airplanes that were around us. They're 3,000 feet below us. You can see on the visual display here that they are below us, well below us there, and they're moving away from us. And that guy's kind of at our altitude there on the left, but he's so far away we don't care about him at all. He's just 500 feet below us over there. So you can see how the visualization of the TCAS works with world traffic. Keep in mind, you have to go into the AI aircraft menu and enable world traffic airplanes. I think I have about 9 or 10 of those in there. You can add up to like 19 or something like that before it won't let you anymore. All right, we can start thinking about descent here. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll this down to 10,000. Right about here. And we're going to use our auto throttle, actually. I'll show you how this works. So we have our speed here. You can see it's set at 190 right there. I'm going to set it to 250. Right there is fine. We go auto throttle system on, and you can see the airplane's going to start slowing itself down automatically, just like that. And we're going to do vertical speed mode here. So let's go to vertical speed. And I'm just going to crack it open or start our descent with about 200 feet per minute here. And then we'll gradually bring the plane down ever so slightly so we don't make our passengers sick here today. Start with 500 feet per minute there. That's looking pretty good. As you can see, the airplane slows down really quick to 250 knots. It's pretty remarkable how fast you can slow this thing down. That's looking good there, and we started cracking it down even more. There's about 1,000 feet per minute. We're going to do it until we get about 2,000 feet per minute going here, and we'll get down to 10,000 feet before too long. We've begun our initial descent into Indianapolis. All right, let's use our nearest airport option here. And or we can go to Waypoint Info, go to airport, no need to do nearest. Click on this guy and we'll do Indianapolis. There it is right there. You can get the frequency of the ATIS, 124.4. So 12440, enter. We can actually hit transfer on that, by the way. Makes it a lot easier. And we'll wait till we pick up the ATIS so we know what's going on in Indianapolis. For now, we're just going to expect a ILS approach for runway 23 right. So hopefully all that will go according to plan. All right, once we get down here to Gibbs, we're going to be at 10,000 feet. We're going to hold that, and then we're going to go to, I believe it is FAML.
Information Yankee.
Yep, Yankee.
2000 Zulu weather. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10.
Okay.
Sky conditions 6,000 scattered. 25,000 broken. Temperature 30, dew point 15. Altimeter 2991.
2991.
Arriving runway 32. Departing runway 32.
32.
Advise on initial contact, you have Yankee.
Really? Okay. Well, winds were showing. What was the winds again in the very beginning? Why would we not land on 23 if the winds are out of the 210 area? I thought that's what he said. Oh, wind's calm.
More than 10.
Okay.
Sky conditions 6,000 scattered.
Well, if he wants runway 32, we can do 32.
Temperature 30.
It's just very strange.
Altimeter 2991. Arriving runway 32. Departing runway 32.
Yep, runway 32.
Initial contact, you have Yankee.
All right, we have Yankee, and we'll get set up for runway 32, I suppose. Indianapolis.
Clip
on that guy, load and arrival.
2000
32, ILS 32. There we go.
Visibility more than 10.
Gibbs 2.
Sky
Already know that.
6,000 scattered.
And
25,000 broken.
Diesel.
Temperature 30. Dew point 15.
None. All right, that
Altimeter
should be good. We got to clear all these though.
Arriving runway 32.
Tell you that much.
Runway 32. Advise on initial contact, you have Yankee.
We do have Yankee. We're good on that. Let's put that away. Let's see here. Remove. Remove you. Remove you. Yep, we just get rid of things this way. It's that easy. You know what I should do is just put ourselves on a heading select here. We do have traffic really close by the way. I'm gonna move our heading bug this way. Get away from the traffic. Then go to heading mode. There we go. So we can clean up this mess. And we go direct to Bupty right there. Nav mode selected. And now we go to Bupty apparently. Which we're over now. We're gonna go to Saddle now. And let's have a look at that on the Gibbs 2 arrival. So now we have been pretty much changed up here. Not a big deal. Saddle is 230 knots. So we want to slow down to 230 knots and we want to cross the 7,000. So let's go ahead and go down to 7,000 feet. Go down like that. Vertical speed mode. 7,000 feet. There we go. 7,000 selected. That'll work out just nicely if we could just actually get vertical speed to go. There it goes, and down we go. All right, and we're slow to 230 knots on the speed. That is slowing down right now. Okay. We may not make 7,000 saddle, but we're going to try. And then we go after saddle to Osmo. Osmo is going to be 4,500, 210. So 4,500 and 210. Let's just go ahead and bring ourselves down to 4,500. These things have been changed on us. And 210 on the speed. We'll slow down after we cross saddle here. And a little bit more down on that guy. Remember, we have passengers on, so we don't want to be jarring on our descent here. And now we need to get ILS 32 information. So we find out that information. Waypoint Info. Airport frequencies. No, not that. Runways. Here we go. Runway 5. No. Want runway 32. Where you at? Right there. And nav, set nav 1 for right there. That is the nav. Right there. And 320. Okay, so 110.5 is in there. We can now go to, we can kind of vector ourselves here now. So let's go ahead and start doing that. We're going to go ahead and go heading mode selection. There it is right there. Heading mode. And we can go to our Loc 1, which is 110.5. I'm going to keep flying this arrival. There we go. I'm going to slow to 210 knots here. That looks good. We're below 10,000 feet, landing lights on. What else we got here? Everything else is good. Cabin air is good. All that's good. We're not worried about flaps just yet. We're going to try to pick up the localizer here shortly. Well, hopefully. That is the idea. There it is right there. Got the localizer now, so we're going to go ahead and switch to approach mode. Localizer's alive. That looks good. Let's continue our descent down. We're gonna hold at 4,500 feet until we're established here a little bit better, and then we're gonna wait for the glide slope to come down. Runway 32. Doesn't look like there's anybody departing out of there right now. We have some people that took off to the left, so they're not even a factor at all. And all right, sweet. We don't have to worry about arming speed brakes or anything like that. It's crazy how little there is to do in this airplane. It's so automated. Go back to that guy. We're good on all of that. Flight plan is selected there. Well, I don't even have to really even look at that, really. Can just go to a traffic map or terrain or weather or whatever we want here. So many options. So many options. I don't know what to do. We can do a checklist. How about that? That'd be better. Okay, cruise. We are all done with all of those. We did everything there. Descent, approach, ice protection, altimeters set, landing lights, got them. Approach, good to go. Before landing checklist, gear. We're not ready for gear yet. We do have the localizer. We're at 210 knots. We're going to continue to slow this airplane down. Let's go slow down to 180. Get this thing configured for landing. You can see the runway straight out ahead of us. So we're not ready for gear yet. And we weren't ready for flaps, so we aren't ready for autopilot and odd damper to be off yet. So we will get there. We're getting close. Not too much further here. We're just waiting to intercept the glide slope right now. Right here. All right. Crossing in to 180. We can put our first setting of flaps in. Glide slope starting to come down a little bit here. Once we intercept that glide slope, we'll put the gear down. Continue to mess with the speed. We'll slow the speed down a little bit more here. 120 knots. Keeping the best speed we can to the airport. That's what I want to do. And we've got the glide slope, not the localizer. Gear down. Flaps for landing. Gears down, 3 green. Did I press? Yeah, landing on flaps. So we got gear. Brakes are good. Flaps are good. Autopilot and yaw damper. We're going to turn those off here in a minute. But you can see it's following it down. No problem. I'm going to see how the airplane behaves a little bit here. So we want to bring our speed back even more. We're going to bring it back to about 100 knots here. Because we went 90 on final. But this is working out just fine for now. I'm going to see how she handles. I haven't done a full ILS landing using the glide slope that much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. Approach looks pretty stable right now. It's bringing the nose up, trying to maintain the glide slope. Tracking perfectly fine on the localizer. Winds are pretty much calm. And we are clear to land. We're going to kick it in the ass a little bit here. Get about 120 knots going. It does slow down pretty fast, so... Like I said, it's a jet, but it behaves like a GA airplane. Especially whenever you're in the approach phase, so... Try not to get run over by this guy that's coming in behind us. 5,700 feet behind us there. That's the idea. There's about 120 right there. That's going to work out just fine. Still letting it fly the approach. And we'll turn off the autopilot once we get below these clouds here. We're about 2,000 feet, right around there. There we go. He's still back there a little bit. So we're keeping him off our tail. And the airplane tracks the localizer fine, glide slope fine. Like I said, the only issue I had was the porpoising, the oscillations of the nose at cruise, but that's only if you get close to that red tape. So if you back off a little bit, you won't have an issue at all. All right, we'll be blowing through the clouds here. Now, X-Plane might white us out here. I'm not sure. Nope, doesn't look like it's going to, though. So that's not bad at all. It's nice and lightly through the clouds. And we are pretty much ready to land. Let's go ahead and go autopilot off. That turns off the auto throttles. Yaw damper comes off as well. I have the airplane. Start slowing her down to 90 knots. That way we maintained the best speed we could to the airport. And now we are ready to slow her down. I'm just following the flight director for the most part. Using my left stick. I'm using the Gladiator Pro Mark II by VKB Sim. A fantastic stick. And I'm using a left side stick on my rig here. Still slowing down. I do about 95 knots on final here. So, you know, 90 plus 5. You can't go wrong with it. Small movements like that. A little bit of power. Not too much. Yep. It's easy to... It's very, very sensitive on the nose. Very sensitive. As you can see. I'm trying not to over control it or anything like that. Pull our power back a little bit more. Isn't it crazy to be flying a jet at these speeds? It's normal for it. Pull our power back even a little bit more. Got plenty of runway here, so we're not going to force it down. Over the numbers. Add a little bit of left rudder here. We get into our round out. Start flaring it up. A little bit more flare. Pull our power. Flare it. Flare it. No spoilers, because, I mean, look at this. We're basically a Cessna at this point. Just do light braking. I'll make a right-hand turn, and we'll taxi back to signature before our arriving traffic comes in. Fantastic airplane. I really highly recommend it. If you guys like the... if you like GA airplanes, but you want jet, you want that extra speed... You know, it's all there. So, highly recommend that. We'll bring up our flaps. Now, I haven't had any issues with the game crashing for the replays since I upgraded and stuff, so it should be okay. We'll have to see. But I'm going to wait till we shut down before we try that. And I don't want to risk losing everything we did. That's signature right here in front of us on the left. So we can go landing lights off. Taxi's on right now. We can go beacon only. We don't need strobes on. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indianapolis. And tomorrow is the race, so these people will be able to make it to the race no problem. Full load of passengers, too. Turn in right here. Autopilot and yaw damper was off. That's a missed approach, go around. We're not worried about that stuff. That's not finished. Okay, yeah, whatever. We just want a shutdown checklist here. Just pull in right here. After landing, flaps are up. External lights is required. It's air source selector. We're gonna leave it on normal for right now. We're gonna spin to the right here. Ice protection is good. Then we do shutdown next. I'm gonna turn right here. Let's park right over here. Pull our power all the way to idle. And come to a stop right here. There we go, parking brake set. All right, throttles are good. Parking brake set. Air source goes to off. Engine selectors can go off. We'll have them bring the GPU. Then go ahead and hook that up right now. Oops. Ground GPU can be set. Chocks can be set out there too. Once the engines get shut down, they will. So we've got engine selectors are off. External lights. Beacon is off. Start bat switch can go off. All this guy. There he goes. Then we've got gen switches. Those are good. Bus tie switch can come off. Assist bat off. That's it. That is all there is to it. We can open the door. Chocks. And guys, that is going to do it for this flight from Nashville up to Indianapolis for the Indy 500. You can see some FedEx MD-10s over there. Or no, looks like MD-11 and some other ones over there. Did we see that plane that was behind us landing? I don't see him out there. I don't know if he was for us or not. But anywho, that'll do it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.